Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in. As always, I appreciate that. Next up in my Steam list of games is 7 Days to Die. Now this is going to be interesting. 7 Days to Die is a zombie survival game which is still in early access after 5 years. It's still alpha. This is alpha 17. It's not even beta, which is ridiculous. I've played the hell out of this game some years ago, but it hasn't really changed that much over the course of these years. Other survival games like Miscreated and DayZ have seen a 1.0 release, but not this game, which is very disappointing. And I know that this game went through various iterations of the engine, and they've tweaked and they've changed things around, but the graphics mostly still look very dated, especially the zombies and how they are animated. So it's very disappointing that the game just didn't make much strides towards an actual release. There's still only 2 modes here. There's endless mode and there's creative mode. There's no story, no context. It's just pure survival, which is enough for some. But what is the end game with this game? But with that out of the way, the unique feature of 7 Days to Die is very much present. Every 7 days, the zombie hordes will come to eat your face. And you get this massive open world to explore with randomized, but also pre-made buildings and structures, which is great. So there's a lot of gathering of resources, and you can build all kinds of items like tools and weapons and food and all that stuff you need to survive. And it can sometimes be very overwhelming because there's so much you can craft in this game. You can build a base as well. You can fortify the base in preparation of that horde that you know that is coming. And that's really the essence of the game, which is still really, really fun. It's survival in the way that you start somewhere, you build a base, you go out and explore. And I mean, there were times when I went out, I built a small base, and I started to go to a little town, and I went to raid this police station in order to get some weapons or some ammo. But I had to clear out that whole police station. It took me so much time that it became dark outside. And that means that zombies that during the day are very slow, at night they can run. So I was kind of trapped in that police station. I had to fortify the police station in order to survive the night, hoping that the zombies won't spot me or hear me and go after me. So that's really that tense feeling of survival, is that you can get into trouble. And that stuff is still very cool. You really feel like you're trying to survive in this harsh environment. And you can let your imagination run wild with the building and upgrading of your base while you're being harassed by these zombies. And the zombies are relentless. They can dig underground, they can jump, they can climb ladders. So the AI is fantastic, really. But the combat with the zombies is actually still quite basic. You can really cheese them as you sort of hit them with a melee weapon and then step back, and then they come again. Because they mostly have only 2 swings with their arms, and that's basically it. So these swings are easily avoided. You can just hack at them again, and it feels like you're cheesing them. Things are well organized in this game. There's a useful UI. Everything is explained very well. You get some starting quests to get you going, sort of a tutorial part of the game. So it's really nice. It eases you into that survival, the crafting, and the base building. Every item, it tells you what kind of things you can do with it, and which other items you can craft with it. But again, my biggest gripe with this current build, Alpha 17, is that it's still not very clear where the developer is going with this. They keep tweaking and changing things around. This is an early access game, and early access games are subject to change. But after 5 years, you'd think, well, at some point it should be clear where this game is going. They're just changing little things and adding things. And previously, like, you could loot zombies. Now you can't. Well, sometimes they'll drop loot, but that's very rare. Previously, you had more inventory space to start out with. Not anymore. This feels very restricted. Previously, you could build a forge early on. Now, you need a lot of resources to get that forge because your character needs to be level 20 or something to get the possibility of even creating that forge. So, a new level system was introduced, and it feels like it's more grindy than ever. They added violent vultures and dogs and other wildlife. Question is that necessary? In conclusion, isn't it time that the developers of this game work out their end game? Where is this game going? Otherwise, you'll just doing the same thing over and over again. After the Day 7 horde, there's going to be a Day 14 horde. And after that, it goes on and on. And after you've seen the first horde after 7 days, it will get harder. I mean, the next horde will be a little bit harder with different zombies added to the mix, but it's the same thing nevertheless. I mean, within the first 7 days, right, I had a compound bow. I had 3 pistols. I had 2 shotguns. I had an AK-47. I had various Molotov cocktails. So what's the incentive to keep playing after the first horde? So you keep repeating yourself over and over again this game. And without any context and without any end game, that is just very disappointing after 5 years again. So can I recommend this game? I think yes, because if you like survival games, you're really gonna like this. If you're new to this genre, I think that 7 Days to Die is actually quite a good game to get into that sort of genre. You know, things are well explained here. It's quite easy to pick up. And there is a great feeling of satisfaction and empowerment when your plan works and your base can withhold the horde but even if it doesn't and you have an escape plan and that works, you feel satisfied and just it feels great. You know, when you barely survive a trek deep into the country, you know, just to get a bunch of guns or ammo, and you bring back that loot, it's fun. That is fun. But if you're looking for something that has context, a story, something like Subnautica that actually has an end game, or The Long Dark, or something like that that's more story driven, has more context, has more like a narrative, look elsewhere, right? So yes, recommend it. You can get it quite cheap when it's on sale. So that's what I think of 7 Days to Die. But again, finish this game, developer. If you're listening, if you're watching this, make sure that this gets finished. Let the community know where this game is going. Thank you guys for watching, and see you next time.